Warning, the following show contains obscene language, crude humor, and all other forms of offensive content. Listeners' discretion is advised. Now it's time to light it up!
I wonder that's what Mark Henry did with the rope last Monday.
Hey everybody, I'm the Shot Star Rick Star, and this is Hardcore Wrestling Radio for the last time on BlogTalk Wrestling Radio, on BlogTalk Radio. And of course, I got a whole panel with me. And first, I'd like to introduce Andy. He's a son of a bitch who loves to chase ghosts. Andy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, thank you, and can't say we're sorry to say goodbye to Blog Radio.
Oh. And of course, over on WGS TV, ladies, don't get all excited. That is a joystick in his pocket. He's Billy. Billy, how you doing?
Thanks for the build-up. Shut up, Chris.
That wasn't me laughing.
They call him the Music Man. Chris, how you doing? Chris Rogers.
I'm doing pretty good. Let me just say, fuck Blog Talk Radio, bitch.
Well, James, finally we have a great, listener who's been coming on over plenty of times. James, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Let's get it running. All
right, guys. Well, over the past couple of weeks, we've been coming here and Blog Talk Radio has been giving us a hard time, but you know what? Enough of the bitching. And let's get down to business. One of the biggest things I wanted to talk about first is an El Generico fan was removed from Raw. I believe it was the Raw after Mania, if I'm not mistaken, guys. It was during the segment of where CM Punk was doing his shoot interview. And a fan pretty much just held up, Generico is Raw.
I remember that sign.
Yep. And apparently, somewhere during the segment, the security had him removed because they just said, he walked up and just removed him to the opposite side of the section where there's no cameras. And this is what he had pretty much wrote. So, hold on. He said he had spent a whole bunch of money. He came over from overseas to watch WrestleMania, and then he had Raw tickets, had spent more than face value to get these tickets, only to be removed, and he was just furious. He said he'll never spend another dime to go see Raw, another WWE show again. Guys, what's your thoughts?
Andy, that was secretly you, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, if he's walking around with Generico, whatever his name is Raw, then they should have evicted him out of the country, in my opinion.
Ole.
Yeah, but do you think that you should have just taken the picture, just taken the sign away from him, rather than moving to another seat so what's called a filler seat could have sat in that seat?
I think the fact that they kicked the guy out immediately without, giving him a chance to either plead himself or just maybe just take the sign away. I think that was just too harsh on WWE security. In all honesty, I think maybe, they were just, fresh off Mania, and they're in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where all the fans were like fucking high on dope, and Chris spiked their water supply with Fenwick's special supply. And
hey, it was the catheter material.
No, yeah, that's right. But I really think that security, to me, they overreacted to a sign, and I think they went too far.
But that wasn't, for the record, that was not security's call. That was WWE's call.
Do you know what I think it could be? And Chris will probably agree with, being on the other side of the media. To get your point across, sometimes media-wise, you've got to be harsh, and that could have been a signal to anybody else in the crowd. If you start dicking around with your signs, you're out. You've got to make a stand. If they don't want something shown on TV, they will go to the extreme just to prove a point, and by them picking him out of the audience and saying, if you're going to hold a sign up like that, go the other side of the camera. It's probably made a point to all the other people that have probably got TNA rules that they could have held up probably midway through the show. They'd probably think, oh, I'm not holding that poster up, I'll get kicked out.
Yeah, but don't you think as a fan, him spending face value on a ticket of Monday Night Raw, especially coming in overseas, don't you think he would, since he spent his good hard-earned money on these tickets, that he would have a right to put up a sign like that? No,
yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, you've got it's supposed to be freedom of speech, but it's not. I mean, we all know it's not. But
exactly,
he should be allowed to put. If he wants to put, I interfere with 3-year-old children. That's his God-given right. If he wants to hold a poster up.
Or my idea for a sign. I fuck Trish Stratus in this seat.
I fuck on my first date.
Yeah.
I for some reason now I need a shower.
Can I say something?
Hey, you'll need 5 more showers by the end of the night.
James?
That sign was for the one. It was at the Raw in South Carolina. It wasn't the Raw after Mania.
Oh, my mistake. Okay.
It was the week after or the day after.
The week after Mania.
The week after. My date was wrong.
And also,
because Billy, the one after WrestleMania, you said it was the bowl of fuck soup.
Yeah, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
And also,
which doesn't surprise me.
That same Raw, there was another fan that got changed his seat too because of a Ring of Honor sign.
Well, I can understand the Ring of Honor sign, but keep in mind that El Genero is with the WWE. He's under a different name, but he's with the WWE, which I found completely, which baffled me.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. WWE, even though they have signed him, they don't want to officially recognize the name El Generico, and they don't want fans to even know the name of El Generico. In fact, when they bring him in, they want fans to forget the name El Generico and go with the character and the gimmick they give him. And believe me, when you have that type of familiarity with your wrestlers, I mean, look what happened to Tensai and the gimmick with Tensai. What fucked him over? The fact that fans remembered who he was.
But you know what, Billy? That's just the thing. You know what? You think if the WAC says, "Oh, he's not A-Train, he's not A-Train, he's not A-Train," do you think that's going to make a difference?
No, fans are still going to chant it.
Exactly. Okay. This is
going
to go.
You can be Tensai. Yeah, the fans are still going to go. Yeah, like you said, even though it's not El Generico, the gimmick anymore, they're still going to go ole, 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 ole. And I feel like I do that if I'm insulting a Mexican. That's all I'm going to say about that. But
that's what you say to a chicken, isn't it?
Andy, what did I tell you about revealing my secrets on the air without letting people pay for it first?
This should be a really good hot topic to talk about. Why is WWE such a, trying to hide things when they should be embracing it? They should say, I mean, I can understand back in the 80s when they didn't have the internet and they didn't have cable, and let's face it, people might have been a little bit more naive. They're not naive anymore. They know what it is.
There's a wrestler, a well-known wrestler, who was interviewed on a talk show, nothing to do with wrestling, but he was just out of character. And I can remember it vaguely. Someone said about being in the WWE, and he said, the trouble with Vince McMahon, there's nothing before the WWE and there's nothing after. And that pretty much explains it. If he was El Generico outside the WWE, then the moment he comes in, like Billy says, he's given a new name. Vince doesn't care what you were before. Does not care in the slightest. Look what he did at Awesome Kong.
Yeah, exactly.
He gave her a new name, Karma. There's no reason why he couldn't have called her Awesome Kong. He calls her Karma, kills her character, and she's gone.
Another thing to take into effect, to think about it, Andy, think about this. There's another thing we could take into effect, that WWE, if they wanted to, with El Generico's consent, agreed to let him use the name, but here's the thing: the El Generico name would become WWE copyrighted material, and should for any reason El Generico want to leave the company, they would let him, but he would not be able to use his El Generico name in any of the independent scenes that he goes to.
Wait, hold on.
Don't you? Sorry, go on, James.
It's like the same thing what Billy just said. It's like with Team 3D. It's like they were the Dudley Boys, but the fact is that WWE owns that right. That's the reason why, they no longer are the Dudley Boys and they're Team 3D. It's the fact that WWE wants to copyright all the names. That's why he's no longer El Generico and he's under a new name.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
to be smart, you need to copyright your shit before you sign with Vince, because Vince is an asshole and he'll put his name on anyone's ass, basically. He proved that with the Kiss My Ass Club.
Basically, what Vince is doing is, if people let him do it, more fool them. You're signing the contract with the WWE for him to wreck the rest of your life, because as long as you work for him and you sniff his butt pipe, you're okay. But the moment you leave, all that build-up of your name and your career that you've done before the WWE has all got to be started again, because at the end of the day, you imagine a big brand like Apple, for example, the iPhones and so on. Imagine if somebody took them to court and won, and they had to call themselves Banana. No one's going to buy a banana phone. They're going to buy a brand that they know. So if you're a wrestler who's had a reputation for 10 years on the independent scene, if you get fired from the WWE, you've got to start at the bottom of the ladder again. It doesn't really matter if people know that you are Arn Anderson or whoever. They can't chant your name anymore. And most people will soon... I mean, how many times have we... I can remember me and Rick, and I think Billy, were watching a TNA broadcast where they had ECW people, and Just Incredible came on, but they announced him as his real name or whatever it was, and we all thought, who the fuck's that? And when he walked in, we all knew who he was. But imagine on a poster it says, Billy Smith appears here next week. You can think, who's Billy Smith? And then suddenly Hulk Hogan walks out.
Yeah.
Hogan
your name
was smart.
Is everything in wrestling.
Hogan was smart. I think he trademarked his own name, I think, or he legally changed it, and that way, Vince can get it that way. So Hogan, or Terry Bologna or whatever his name is, yeah, he was smart in trademarking his name before Vince was able to. Yeah, if only the rest of the wrestlers were that smart.
So he went on with if it's your John Cena is his real name, I wonder how Vince would go on, because as far as I know, John Cena's name's it's probably contracted to the WWE, but I don't think Vince has bought the name, and I don't think John Cena would sell it. But let's say, for example, Vince did buy John Cena's name, how he would go on if he went on to the independent scene, because it's his name.
It's his legal name. It's his birth name. I don't think he can...
I don't think you can legally copyright your name.
Yeah. So that's where John Cena is, in his case, is very, very lucky, because it's a very marketable name, and he's, for the better term, for the past 10 years, has sold his name, has been building that name. So
yeah, because when he was in, was it OVW, he was Prototype or something. I mean, they could have soon bought Prototype name, and then he'd have been knackered if that was his main name. But I think that got dropped the moment he got signed with WWE. I just think they brought him in from day one when he fought Kurt Angle with John Cena. I'm sure they did.
No.
I don't think they've ever brought him in as the Prototype.
No.
Yeah, they kept it. When John Cena came in, it was John Cena wasn't Prototype.
Yeah, because I can remember his first match. He got some real nasty, horrible green and white shorts, and he was fighting Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that was his Prototype gear.
Yeah, that was real.
Horrible. It looked like Gumby?
Worse, it was like bright fluorescent green and white stripes round the waistband and round the legs, white knee pads and white boots, and he just looked a proper G.I. Joe action figure.
Wow.
Well, if you
Or
look back to his
figurine.
AEW as prototype, that's the gear he wore.
Oh, I've got to
Thank
put it.
God he went with something else.
I've got to mention this as well for anyone that's listening. If you haven't bought the Mick Foley CD/DVD, why?
I bought it.
Billy will know why. Why haven't you bought it? If you're a wrestling fan, why?
I haven't had the opportunity to watch it yet.
Absolutely phenomenal.
It is fun. It is
The interview parts of the DVD are far better than the actual in-ring stuff. His story is...
The documentary?
Yeah, it is unreal. It really is.
The documentaries are usually a lot better than the matches themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought some of the matches that they actually put on the DVD were a bit poor, to say the least. But
Which
you do
one?
actually see, Billy, the match where he fights Vader and gets his ear ripped off.
No, that happened. Yeah, I think that happened in Germany.
Yeah, that's actually on the DVD. It shows you the referee picking up his ear and taking it to the corner.
Wow.
Does it have the halftime heat match?
I think so. I would have to look.
But I can remember seeing that match because the referee sort of looks down and thinks, "Oh, that's an ear," and he walks over to the timekeeper, who's sitting to the left-hand side of the ring, wiggles his own ear. This is the referee, and then points at Mick Foley as much as to say, "This is his."
Wow.
Nice.
Oh gosh.
Unbelievable.
Do your ears hang off?
But you know, we've heard the rumours that he got it trapped in the top rope. He was in the top rope, and he pulled himself out. But apparently, they slow the video down because they're talking to Vader on that interview segment, and Vader actually admits, and it shows you on the video, he actually rips Mick Foley's ear off.
Oh my God. Oh.
Mick said the damage was already done to the ear. It had already split the cartilage at the back. And do you know when they grab up and they normally put their arms around their head, like on not wrestling as we know it, wrestling as in like university wrestling. They do like a grapple that way.
Oh yeah.
He went to put like an headlock on and gripped his ear, and Foley's pulled back, and he sort of looked and thought, "Oh, that's an ear," and just flung it on the canvas.
Oh.
So he's got a lot to answer for, as Vader.
Oh jeez.
Oh man.
Wow. My God.
All I got to say is, all I got to say is, damn.
I want to see Vader against Mike Tyson because they both got a thing for ears. The first person.
Wait. Hey, Andy, Vader versus Van Gogh.
The first person leave the ring with both ears is won. Ears count anywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, first sight of ear loss.
It's a good job nobody from Star Trek wrestles, because they'd have an unfair advantage because they've got 3 ears. They've got the left ear, the right ear, and the final front ear.
Bad.
You know, Rick Steiner's always say, "Hey, I'll fight Vader. I got my ear protectors on."
That always looks like a fat person's jockstrap on his head to me. Where's Billy gone?
Damn.
Billy went to go check his ear.
or to see where his jockstrap points.
He's probably checking himself now, touching himself in an awkward position.
Moving on. We were talking real quick about like how the WWE kind of wants to keep the characters in sync with the public, and I wanted to talk about this real quick because the WWE, as we know, next year is going to be they're starting inductions already, and talk about the first person they're already inducting is Paul Bear, which we all agreed that's the first person who should be inducted next year. Are we all in agreement in this?
Yeah.
I wonder if the Earn will come on and collect his award.
He'll probably want it.
Have like the CGI animated of the urn waddling its way out.
Yeah, the urn will wobble its way out, jump on top of the little whatever you call it.
And Paul Bear's ear will come out.
Know what they'll do then? They'll rub it like Aladdin's lamp, and that's when they'll do the Tupac CGI. Yes, I've come to get my award.
person who might not be inducting him, apparently, according to reports, is The Undertaker. I guess the reason why they don't want to induct him is because you know how The Undertaker's always had his character, and they don't want to. They feel that if The Undertaker inducts him, it's going to kill the character with the public. Do you guys agree with this?
No. Yes and no. Because I mean, it would be great for The Undertaker, but then again, Undertaker doesn't really show any emotion. Yeah. So, and if you get inducted into the Hall of Fame, no matter what you do, no matter what kind of preparation you do, I bet you when you get up on that stage, all of it goes out the window, and you become emotional, and things start coming back. And exactly. And it'll happen with The Undertaker, and if they induct Undertaker, he's gonna cry or something, and people are gonna be like, "This guy's a pussy."
I don't think he's a pussy, but I think this is where he should come down and become, for all intents and purposes, Mark Calloway. And do you guys agree for a moment?
Yeah, and if he gets inducted, I think it should be Kane. I know he's had other feuds and better feuds with other people, but I think he should be inducted by his fake brother, if anybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
James, your thoughts?
Do you know, can I just... Okay. Sorry, James. One thing that really annoys me, though, I hate when wrestlers stay in character when they being themselves. Will somebody please explain to Rey Mysterio, when you're in an audience on, like, a Hall of Fame, take your fucking mask off, you dickweed. We know what you look like. We have WCW.
Exactly. I kind of have to agree with that. I think the thing is because the Luchador family, they for years and years and years never took the mask off, even in public. So I think he's kind of following that whole thing.
He just looks such a knob sitting there with a dinner suit on and a mask on. He looks like a 3-year-old child that's not grown up yet.
I tend to agree with you. Believe it or not, there was one luchador who walked around in public, who sat in an office, same thing, full suit, three-piece suit.
Sin Cara.
No, not Sin Cara. Was his name Sin Cara? Or are you being funny?
No.
Being funny.
I was wondering, did Rey Mysterio do that or something?
No, it was an older luchador, and I don't know. Billy would probably know the name. Billy's not here.
I'm here.
Oh, Billy. Okay, excellent. What was
Did he wear a silver mask? Was it silk? Because I can remember seeing somebody on a normal television show with a silver mask on who was probably in his 60s.
Wouldn't that be Mil Mascaras?
Perhaps. But he was a luchador. Even after he retired, no matter where he went in public, even when he worked in an office, three-piece suit and all, no matter where he did and what he did, he would not go outdoors unless he had his mask on.
Yeah, that's Mil Mascaras, the man of 1,000 masks. Mil Mascaras.
The man of 1,000 phases. I thought you were going to say. But we never saw any of them.
But Andy was like, why doesn't just Rey Mysterio just take off his mask when we all know what Rey Mysterio looks like? I mean, don't you think that's a little bit past the point?
Well,
I mean, everybody takes their gimmick off when they're sitting in the audience at the Hall of Fame. I mean, Triple H is, Paul Levensky, whatever his name is, and so on and so forth. But why does Rey Mysterio have to stay in character? Like I was saying earlier, everyone's watched WCW when he used to come out with Billy Kidman and his camcorder, so we know what he looks like. It's nothing new.
Yeah, but if you're a guy like Mil Mascaras, whose entire career has been associated with the mask that you wear, if you go out in public and take your mask off, nobody's going to know who you are. Nobody's going to recognize you.
All right then. That's exactly the point.
So I believe that's why he keeps the credibility on. It's keeps the mask on. It's the credibility that goes with the name. They may not have seen your face, but if they see your mask, they're going to recognize you as being this guy.
So basically, if Mil Mascaras bangs a woman, he wears the mask?
I think only in public.
Oh, okay.
When he's doing that, the mask is on another part of his body, and I'll let you assume where.
I don't know why then. I just had that mad thought. Can you remember, Billy, on your show? I can't remember the man's name, But we had that guy that came on the show that was famous for being, yay, Tony the Tiger.
That was Lee Marshall.
Yeah, that's him. I couldn't remember his name. I thought he's like a person who's permanently stuck in character with Tony the Tiger, and no one knows what he looks like. Well, I googled him, so I know what he looks like now, but I really thought that the bloke who had that voice was orange and white striped and looked like a tiger.
Oh, that's what happens when you do too much LSD.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, everybody looks like has orange and white stripes when you do too much LSD.
They're great.
And Andy's talking from experience, aren't you, Andy?
Yeah.
That's why he's a paranormal investigator. He sees them.
I see people that are not there. As it says on my T-shirt, I see dumb people.
Why is Andy looking at me?
Stop looking at Billy.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Our next interesting topic is, of course, we know that after WrestleMania, one of the biggest things that WWE has been known to do is what's called the spring cleanup. And, if we can have
a past years.
Yeah, well, they didn't do it last year, of course, because it wouldn't be politically correct because, Linda McMahon was in office. Of course, she's not in office this year, so there's been rumored that it's going to happen this year. So my question to all you guys, if you could pick a few guys to have, superstars or divas to be removed from the roster, doesn't matter where they are, whether active or inactive, who would you pick? Billy, I'm going to
Jungle.
Thank you. Them and the Bellas, because I don't even know why they came back. I mean, they're not doing
show off the boob job.
They should kick out the Ballas and make them clean my bedroom. First time in it.
I mean, I in my opinion, Fandango, the Bellas, basically, here's what I would do: put them in a match. If they can wrestle, they can keep their job. I bet you half the roster would be gone that way, but still.
Billy, what about you? Do you have any particular ones that you would honestly say these people just these guys need to go? They're not even here. They have purpose in the WWE.
Oksana, Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal. I'm sorry to say Drew McIntyre because of what they're doing with him, and I would have to say
Great Khali.
No, Hornswoggle.
No, they won't get rid of Hornswoggle because then who will the kids play with? Okay, that came out wrong.
Yeah, I could have taken that to
Yeah, that came out wrong.
James, your thoughts?
First one will be Oksana. I agree with Billy over there because she can't do crap. Alex Riley could be another one because he hasn't done much since the Miz feud.
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase. Well, Kurt Hawkins could be one also.
Kurt Hawkins is down in FCW, over on the NXT brand, I do believe. Yeah, I am entirely positive.
And Ezekiel Jackson.
Oh, he's already gone.
Yeah, he's been gone.
No, he's still considered on the roster.
Really?
Did any of you guys notice? I didn't notice until my other half, Sarah, said to me in the Hall of Fame, and if you've got it on DVR, if you can't remember, watch it back. We were sitting there watching the Hall of Fame, and she said, "Thought he'd been fired." And I looked, and who was in the audience?
Who?
I'll give you a clue. Irish.
Finley?
Oh.
Finley was in the audience.
Yeah, but I think didn't they? Aren't they?
He's a trainer or
yeah, he's a trainer, I believe, backstage.
That was released
has he come?
because of some issues.
Yeah, he did something when the American flag thing was being shown. Did he do a run out and they sort of fired him on the spot?
Yeah, but however, WWE signed him last year.
Oh, that's it then, because I thought I'm sure he went because I saw the video he did about 12 months ago, and he was really bitter about it. And he'd gone back to Ireland and was basically starting again in the Indies, and he was really bitter because he said they wouldn't have a Diva division without me. Well, I thought he's done a damn sight more than the Divas division, and that's nothing really to boast about.
He's in WWE. They re-signed him last year.
Thank God for that, because I think he's, I don't know, although you don't see him on TV much these days, he has done a lot in the background before. I mean, he's coached a lot of the young guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad he's back, because my better half said to me, "There's Finlay," and I thought he's fired. What's he doing in there? And I think it was with his wife. He was sitting with a woman anyway. It was probably somebody else's wife, but he was sitting with a woman, and he got a grey suit on.
That's just like a good old Irishman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How'd your kids steal your wife?
The Guinness in one hand and somebody else's wife in the other.
Yeah. Now,
Top of the morning.
While we're talking about the Hall of Fame, two other people were at the Hall of Fame that wasn't in with the WWE, that hasn't been officially signed with the WWE, and that's, of course, Rob Van Dam and MVP.
Rob Van Dam was backstage once, while it was being filmed. Was he backstage? The Hall of Fame, go see what benefit, I believe.
He's possibly in negotiations. Now, he's been keeping that very close to the chest because he's still possibly trying to re-sign with TNA. Now,
I think he's just trying to keep his options open, I guess.
Exactly. Now, let's say let's play, let's play on the opposite side. Let's say we're all like Rob Van Dam. If you guys could, with Rob Van Dam, would you want to sign with the WWE where you could be the part-time wrestler and, if you could work, or would you rather want to go back to the WWE? Now, keep in mind this something. Now,
Rob will go with TNA all the time because going on his past interviews, he hates travelling.
Yeah.
At least with TNA, it's a fixed house almost. I mean, they've only just started to travel, but it's a fixed location and very little travelling.
Wait, hold on. Not anymore now because they're now traveling around the United States for Impact now.
They're starting to move now, so that could be the deciding factor. And I think with that in mind, now they've gone on the road to TNA, he might stick where the money is, which there's obviously more money in WWE.
Well, here's another issue. Now, and again, I don't know if this has been another issue. Whenever a wrestler has had their hands in other things, that's been an issue. The WWE has to have their hands in other things.
Vince ruins them.
He just signed, Rob Van Dam just signed a contract for a magazine, for a comic book. Do you think that could be a deciding factor too?
Yeah, that was
comics?
That was the issue they had with Mickie James, isn't it? She wouldn't donate her royalties from her records to Vince, so that was the deciding factor when she went. But another thing that worries me, I don't watch SmackDown. I only catch SmackDown when I have to. I was just about to say something. Has Christian gone? Or is he in SmackDown? Because I don't remember last time I saw Christian on TV. I know he was injured.
I think he's still injured. He really hasn't come back yet. Let me check real quick.
From what I've been read, he's been good to go since before WrestleMania. So who knows what they're doing with him? I have no idea. They've been saying he's good to go. He's good to come back. He's good to come back. You know what? I think they're just sitting on him, waiting for his career to expire, and I think they're going to release him. I think, the only reason why he got to come back was because Edge wanted him back. I think he should have stayed in TNA. Billy, what are your thoughts on the Christian issue?
With the Christian issue?
Yeah.
The dude needs to go rot in a hole somewhere.
Do you think he was better in TNA, or do you think he was better in WWE?
They pushed him better in TNA.
I agree.
I think in WWE, they just see him as just Christian, and they don't want to recognize the fact that he's a former two-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and they don't want to recognize any of the work he did in TNA, and they just want to look at him and say, you know what, you're only here because of that Edge wants you here, and now he's gone. We don't give a fuck about you.
Exactly.
Actually, he took another leave of absence mid-last year due to a legit aggravated shoulder injury, but he was most recently spotted at WrestleMania Access signing autographs. So I think that's
Yeah, I think his card's probably marked now.
I agree.
When you're signing autographs, your time.
I mean, when he was Christian Cage in TNA, he was an A-card wrestler. When he come back to the WWE, he was a mid-carder.
Yeah, he'd gotten his...
Well, actually, when he was with ECW, he was basically the top wrestler, of course.
Yeah, but ECW is your C-list show, with Raw being your A-list show, SmackDown being the B-list show. ECW was your lower tier show, and being champion of that right now is kind of being equal to being the cruiserweight champion in WCW. No, I mean, people think you might look good, but honestly, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Well,
and also
about... Sorry, James.
It's like they just basically gave him the world heavyweight title just because of Edge,
Yeah.
How he retired. So.
Yeah, I think.
While
that was
we're
part of
talking about
deal.
ECW and Hall of Fame, do any of you guys think that Tommy Dreamer should be put in?
Absolutely, I think he's worthy of a Hall of Famer. It's something that
if they could get him back. Well, yeah, he's come back to WWE.
I don't think he should come back for a run. I think it's just something he should just.
No, I think he's actually been re-released from WWE.
Yeah.
No,
if you talk about the
original,
he's more like a free agent. He's like
he was most recently backstage at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, meeting up with fellow ECW veterans Rob Van Dam, Joey Styles, and Paul Heyman.
I can really see that Paul Heyman deserves to go in, Eric Bischoff deserves to go in, and somebody who I know you're going to go, oh my God, has Andy been smoking the cannabis again? I really think Vince Russo should be in there. If they can put Donald Trump in, they should put Vince Russo in for his Attitude Era.
You know what? I have to agree with you too. And believe it or not, I would even say for even his WCW era. I mean, a lot of people might disagree with that, but you know what? Like what the guy did or dislike what the guy did, the guy has done a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like footballers or basketball players. No one ever remembers the good things they've done, but do one bad thing and everybody remembers. And Vince Russo's done a lot for the wrestling company. And even Jim Cornette should be in there, but he's badmouthed WWE that much. I don't think he's got a prayer.
Yeah, and I think what pisses me off is that they're only putting in, they would rather put in celebrities that haven't really been significant to the company, but they want to put in people, I'm sorry, like Donald Trump. Donald Trump, yeah, okay, what did Donald Trump really do for the company? Significantly for the company.
Provided venues for WrestleManias 4 and 5.
You know what? So didn't the person who provided for the for the WrestleMania 1 and WrestleMania New York and all the other places.
No, the guy in WrestleMania 1 was Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, exactly. Who was he?
It was owned by New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So it's New York. So why isn't you know what I mean? It's like it's owned by New York, but who owns New York? Who you know what I mean? Exactly. Because one person owns it, he gets inducted. That's my point.
Yeah, but this is Donald Trump. When you're talking about Donald Trump, the dude's like a fucking multi-billionaire. He can buy the. He can buy the.
But once you induct Drew Carey, he's basically anyone.
That guy can buy anything but a decent wig.
My point is, what has he done for wrestling? Aside from the venues, you take what he's done for venues. What has he done for the wrestling as a whole?
Battle of Billionaires.
I'm waiting for
one show, one wrestling pay-per-view. Okay, when we're talking about...
But there's a reason why he's not, in the actual Wrestling Hall of Fame work. He's in the celebrity wing of it.
But I'm talking about... Okay.
I really don't think we should make a big deal about it since he's in the celebrity part of it. I mean,
that's my point.
If you should argue about
celebrity wings and stuff, there's not a physical building that's WWE Hall of Fame, is there?
Well, no, there isn't. But my issue is this: they're having a celebrity wing, which I think is a big fucking waste of time. When they could take that one celebrity wing and put an extra person who deserves that time, deserves that spot. Let me ask you: do you think Donald Trump deserves to be in that spot more than someone like Luna Vachon?
I'll get back to you on that one.
I'll take that as a no. That's a no.
Yeah, Luna should be in there.
There's a lot of people like you got.
Exactly.
No, didn't they induct him? They did induct a member of the Vachon family, if I'm not mistaken.
But not Luna Vachon.
I think
Mad Dog Vachon, whatever his name is. Was that a father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. The point is like there's a lot of people that hasn't been inducted into the Hall of Fame that should be inducted, but some of them it's just because of problems. Some of them just WWE just don't care.
I think the crying wrestling fan from YouTube should be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. It's real to me, damn it!
Yeah.
I want to know why we all agree, I think, that Sting should be in the Hall of Fame. But what are they doing? Waiting till he retires before they put him in? Because they've put the likes of Hulk Hogan when he wasn't working for the WWE in. They've had Ric Flair when he wasn't working for the WWE get inducted. So just because he works for TNA doesn't matter. I think he needs to be in while he's still got a career. Because I am sick of wrestlers being inducted in the Hall of Fame that have got no career anymore.
Yeah, but think about the whole debacle that happened when they wanted to get Ric Flair into that WWE Hall of Fame. What did they have to do? They had to ship Christian over to TNA for a one-night-only thing, and it just created all kinds of controversy, all kinds of crap that they didn't need to go through. And so, honestly, I really don't think WWE wants to have that headache back on him of, the TNA will ship this guy over here, but then we'll have to owe them a favor.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, I really
next
don't
thing you
think
know, we'll see John Cena and TNA.
I really don't think they should have inducted Ric Flair in until he'd finished wrestling or until he'd cocked his toes, to be honest. I really don't, because to me, people who go in the Hall of Fame, their career's normally ended, and that guy doesn't know what end means. He can't even spell the word.
Yeah. Also, if I may, add something. Now, you say, Billy, that they don't want to, induct, Sting into the Hall of Fame because it's just a big headache for them, right? Because they don't owe them a favor, this and that, and, back and forth.
Yeah, considering all the things they had to go through for the when they went to induct the Four Horsemen and have Ric Flair there. I mean,
okay. Now that's a valid point, but WWE has no problems whatsoever using Sting for DVDs.
Yeah, because Sting was... Well, listen. Okay. That's because when Sting was in WCW, WWE bought the rights to the WCW name. And when you buy the rights to the WCW name, even though you're in TNA now, if you are in WCW, you are associated and you fall under the right and under that part where your name will be featured in WWE programming, even though you don't want it to be there.
I get it. But I understand why they did it. But the point is they have no problem using Sting's name, getting money off of Sting's name. They could, work around Sting. They have no problem getting around Chris Benoit. But they've focused in on Sting, saying, because this guy makes money. This guy can sell merchandise. And that's exactly what they do, because they know Sting has a strong fan base. They ain't stupid. This, you could use that whole, we bought WWE, I'm sorry, we bought WCW, we had the fan base. Yeah, they can use all that legal ramification, jargon, and it makes sense. And I agree with you with what you're saying.
Yeah, but with Sting under contract now currently to TNA and the fact that they actually now are selling their own brand of Sting merchandise, that can be seen as possibly WWE going after a copyright claim to TNA, or TNA can file a copyright claim against WWE because they have this guy currently now under contract. And the fact of the matter is, if you have a guy that's currently working for your company and you already have branded merchandise, because Sting does have branded merchandise in TNA that falls under the TNA name, and WWE should feel stupid enough to say, well, you know what, we're going to put out our own brand of Sting merchandise even though he's not currently under our contract, even though we bought him when it was in WCW. Then WWE would not have any rights to sell that kind of a merchandise. Now with the WCW stuff, that's a different story because of WWE buying the rights to it and the right to use the name, the footage, and anybody that's appeared in there. However, you cannot use the name Sting if you want to put out and sell branded merchandise like T-shirts or anything that they're doing today. I think I explained that enough to the point where I just confused myself.
Yeah, you just confused all of us.
But I get to the whole gist of it. So,
there's a difference between running his name on TV and showing his stuff when he was in WCW, and putting his name on branded merchandise and trying to sell it to make your own personal gain. Because to me, Sting can look at that's maybe also copywriting into his name. Because, you're not saying this is, Sting WCW merchandise. This is Sting WWE merchandise. Instead of, and Sting would not receive any royalties from this whatsoever. And that would be ripping off Sting's name. I think that's a better explanation. If not, I just confuse myself even more and I need to go watch Doctor Who. Thank you, Chris, and go fuck a monkey.
Fair enough. So,
Yes.
So, all right. Andy, did you guys happen to catch Raw this past Monday?
I did, unfortunately.
What did you think of it, real quick?
He says, unfortunately.
Not that good. The only thing that I've got one gripe about Raw, and that's the amount of bad publicity I've seen on Tinternet about John Cena having all the limelight with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Well, I'm sorry for all you John Cena haters out there. The reason why John Cena is as big as he is because he does stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you there.
A lot of people have put on the internet, and I'm thinking, what's wrong with these people? It's a wrestling show. We don't need disabled kids or kids who are dying on the TV. All I can say is, don't call yourself a wrestling fan, because if you're a wrestling fan, I'm going to disassociate myself with you if you've got an attitude like that. I'm a bit of a sick cookie when it comes to stupid jokes, but when it comes down to children who have got some serious illness who are dying, isn't it everyone's thoughts, at least give them one kind of thing that they will remember before they die, something they've always wanted to do, they've done.
Make them forget that they're sick for once and actually make a dream come true.
Yeah, and when they gave them all like mini careers and gave them names and so on, and then some disrespectful people on the internet basically put down that it was 15 minutes of wrestling time, the kid should have died, and then we wouldn't have sit through it. And I'm thinking, you guys are just proper sick.
Yeah, that's just you can tell, they're just real dicks out there in the world, and.
But they have the audacity to say, like, why is John Cena so big? Why is he nicking the limelight all the time? Because he bends over backwards for the company.
Exactly.
Do you see any of the other wrestlers putting the work in? That guy must never have a day off.
That's the point I'm trying to make to those Cena haters, whether it be on Facebook, Skype, or on YouTube, and they just don't want to let that point sink in. They just want to stick to the fact that, we hate Cena because everybody hates Cena, and hate Cena's cool. Fuck off. That's all I'm going to say. In fact, I still say, I said it on Twitter. I said it on the YouTube review. I'm going to say it on here. The guy that held up the sign during the match that said, "Die, Cena, die," can properly go fuck off and rot in hell.
Yeah, brain deads. Complete brain deads. If they had a brain, they would be seriously dangerous, them sort of people.
Yeah, but I think a few weeks ago, when I had Vinny DeGuido on, and he actually stayed on after the interview, which, by the way, guys, if you go listen to it, it was an excellent interview, and I had Anthony Bruno and Vinny DeGuido, and they talked about Wrestling with Disaster, plug. He talked about haters, and he said, for one thing, he goes, if you don't like the show, don't watch it, and if you hate it that much, but I think with haters in general, they just got nothing better to do. They hate their own lives, so they have to hate somebody else, and they're just that way. That's just who they are.
It's like the line of business I'm in at the moment with my paranormal group. We had a couple of members of the public that came with us on Saturday, and they requested that they wanted to go on camera and talk about what they'd done, and they said they had an enjoyable evening, blah de blah de blah. But it's a crock of shit. I thought, well, why fucking turn up then? If you don't believe, why turn up? I wouldn't go see Bon Jovi in concert because I don't fucking like him. Why would you turn up to something that you don't believe in or something that you've got no faith in? I mean, why? I mean, we don't charge people so they don't have to pay, unlike some. It's free. But why come to something that's free to just disrespect it? I don't disrespect anything they do. And I think I upset them because they sort of assume that you're in a paranormal group that, everything they see is ghosts and they believe in ghosts. No, I don't. As you all know, I run a paranormal group. I'm the biggest skeptic in the world.
Yeah.
They automatically assume that, you believe you've seen a ghost. No, I don't. I'm trying to find a ghost to prove to myself, do they or don't they exist? And so far, I'm still on the fence, as they say. But it's like Billy was saying about John Cena. People just hate Cena because it's fashionable to hate John Cena. Why don't they just use their own brain and like and dislike people that they choose, not what the friends tell them to do?
Chris, is it all right if I hate you?
If I can hate you first.
Of course, we'll spread the hate around.
So much
I
love in
hate
this
you.
room. Right here on the final, on the Go Home show. So right here on
you know what? Let me amend my last statement. Let's spread the hate all over BlogTalk Radio.
Yeah.
Fuck you, BlogTalk, bitch.
Biatch.
All due respect.
Yeah.
Or no respect. I don't care.
It's like what I say to Cena haters. With all due respect, go rot and die.
No, they don't do that.
I mean that in the kindest, most possible.
Christian. He means that in the most Christian way.
Yeah, that you could go die.
Go rot and die in the most Christian sort of way.
Yeah. Respectfully.
Do us all a favour. You're all a bunch of oxygen thieves. There's only enough oxygen on the planet for a certain amount of people, and I'd like to live a bit longer. So stop nicking my oxygen, Cena haters.
Respectfully.
Well, now that we've gotten through that, why don't we go through the rounds and find out where else we can find everybody. Andy, where can we find you at?
You can find me at YouTube/Stoke Haunted or stokehaunted.com. Sorry, got the web. Oh. Me on Facebook under. God, I can't remember what I'm under. Am I under Andy2E1 SOB or Andy Weatherall? But you can find me on Facebook and anywhere else. Just type in that son of a bitch from England and you'll find me.
That's right.
Look for an ugly bloke that looks like an egg with glasses.
I thought that was me.
No,
yeah,
I
but
think
you've got hair, Billy.
You have hair.
Yeah, I think
you've got hair.
Yeah,
yeah, I've got screwing out my arse.
That's to the point, Andy, that you can put it in a ponytail.
Yeah, in fact, I've decided I'm going to grow the hair from out of my arse and comb it up my back and over my forehead.
Oh, Lord. I can only imagine what it's going to look like when you fart.
That'll be a serious comb over.
Billy, where can we find you at?
In the lower bowels of your mind.
Oh, jeez.
Also on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer.
Brain cells.
I was going to have a couple of rabbits tattooed on my forehead because from quite a distance they always do look like hairs.
Bringing new meaning to the term hip hop.
Yeah.
But YouTube.com/WrestleGamer.
And Chris, where can we find you at?
Find us on our brand spanking new website, which we just launched today, rockinwaves.com.
Now, when you say brand spanking, you don't mean you spanked it with a belt.
No, we spanked it with our bare hands.
See? I told you.
Monkey spanker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow, my brain.
And James, as always, thanks for coming on. James, where can we find you at?
Nowhere. If most likely I may be like on this wrestling talk, but I'm just more like nowhere right now. Maybe doing Justin TV or Vaughn live.
Well, don't forget to send us a shout out, and we'll come over and we'll disrupt your show as well. Because we're very nice that way.
I think James's last known residence was in the city of Fuck Off in the state of None of Your Damn Business.
I've been. I know I mentioned this last week about your Super Bowl trophy that's on the table on your current photograph, but I've been having a good think about it, and I think that is a vibrator vagina.
I was eating, Andy. Thank you.
Only here on Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And keep in mind, everybody, that even though this is our last show here on Blog Talk Radio, it's not our last show for Hardcore Wrestling Radio. We will now be going over to Spreaker.com/HWR Media. That means we'll be doing shows whenever we please. No more of this Wednesday at 8 o'clock or Wednesday at 9 o'clock. It's just we're going to do what we call pickup shows. So you're just going to have to go over, check us out on our Facebook page. That's Facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio.
Remember, it's pickup shows, not pick your nose shows.
Do that too whenever you want, but just don't.
Man, I've been picking my nose the whole show.
Failing that, if you want to add Hardcore Crew, that's HARDCORE Crew CREW to your Skype and make us a friend. Well, you never know. We might even bring you in the Skype call, and you can be live and having fun just like we are.
Actually, the actual name is Hardcore Crew 1.
Don't forget the 1 on the end.
Absolutely. And actually, now we are on Twitter. We're going to try the Twitter thing one more time. And again, that's &Hardcore Crew. So. And
me and Chris are on the other Twitter site, which is not a joke. It's real serious. Don't forget you can find me and Chris on Twatter. That's TWATTER, Twatter. There's actually a website called Twatter.
Be sure you take a shower before going on.
Or if not before, after.
You'll find me on Twatter under the biggest Twatter on God's earth. That's my username.
Just don't say that to a woman or else she'll slap you in the face.
Billy, he might like that. You never know.
I hate pain.
Where can we find you, Rick? You've told us where we can find everybody else, but apart from on here, of course, have you got anything lined up? Are you on like airyhamster.com or something like that?
You never know. I might be on Harry Hamster. But for right now,
looking at naked ladies.
I got a nosebleed.
Well, yes, you can find me over on my Facebook page. That's Facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. My Twitter page, which is &HWR Crew. And, of course, last but not least, and my new Spreaker page, that's Spreaker, not Speaker, SPREAKER.com/HWR Media.
And don't forget, if you want to also find Rick, you can find him on Stifler's Mum's The Best Ride I've Ever Had, HairyHamster.com.
It's not Stifler's mom. I keep on telling you, Andy. It's Stifler's sister. You don't listen to me when I tell you, Andy. You're supposed to cut my promo the right way. Sheesh.
I see a typo.
I've just climbed on MikeZamar.net.
I need to go to therapy after this.
That's not a surprise when here on Hardcore Wrestling.
All right, the promos. We only got about a minute left. Billy, anything left for you?
Yes, I'd like to remind everybody that tonight's episode of Hardcore Wrestling Radio has been brought to you by the brand new Chris Rogers catheters, the only catheters licensed with Chris Wright on the catheter. So now you can pee where you want to pee.
Or you can use an empty water bottle. It works just as well.
Is that
if
what
you're not completely satisfied, hey, Billy, if you're not completely satisfied within 30 days, please bring your used catheter back and pour it all over Billy's head.
And with that special announcement, I would like to thank WGS Billy, the Wrestler Gamer. I'd like to thank the son of a bitch, Andy, for coming on. I'd like to thank Chris Masters. And, of course, I'd like to thank James for coming on. And, of course, I'm the Shining Star, Rick Starr, saying thank you for coming on.
Buy Mark Henry's rope-a-dope. It's 'cause that's what he do.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Be sure to follow us on Facebook page at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. HWR is also in association with WGS TV. Until next time, this is Rick Starr saying, see you when I see you.